Ready, steady, and go! It's day 3, session 3 of our ease challenge. And as I have just got online, I want to give you a moment to get online so that we can all ground down and connect and create our sacred circle of trust, where we today are going to step into our power. Isn't that exciting? I'm wearing yellow. This is the only yellow thing I could find in my wardrobe, if you like it. And this yellow signifies the vibration of our 3rd chakra. Hi Ingeborg, hi Monica. And in the 3rd chakra, it's all about stepping into our power. So I'm delighted that you're here, that you're making time for this in your incredibly busy schedule. Hi Irene, good to see you. I know how busy we can all get and how caught up in life we can get. So I really honor the time that you are investing in yourself, in spending this precious hour with me. So hi Mirella, hi Gianluca. I love how, especially this ease challenge is showing men and women joining. Usually in my workshops and retreats, I get lots of women, no guys. So hello gentlemen, welcome. And hello ladies, hello sister goddesses. Hi Fabiola, hi Cynthia. I want to give everyone a little bit of time just to ground down. Make sure that you've turned your phone or device on Do Not Disturb. This is your precious me time. So make sure you've got the doors closed, you've got your glass of water next to you. We're going to be transforming a lot of stuff today because, you know, stepping into your power means you need to make, where is it? You need to make peace, right? So I'm drinking peace water here right now, and I invite you to do the same. Also, get a pen and paper ready. You never know. I might say something useful and you might want to write something down, especially when we go into the clearing part where it's all about, hi Martin, where it's all about getting, you know, into that space of becoming aware of self. So, you know, you can totally ignore what I'm saying the entire time and just focus on your breath. And then you will be doing more good work than all of us. So I just want you to know right at the start that you need nobody to give you your power. You need nobody to give you permission to step into your power. Just by your choice of being here right now, of saying, you know what, I do want more ease in my life and I'm ready to confront and look at my stuff. That's amazing. And know that you are part of maybe 5% of the global population. And that's amazing. So kudos to you. Give yourself a little tap on your shoulder. Hi Mariella, hi Wim. And now let's talk about chakra 3. It's where your solar plexus is. Hi Shanine, you're right on time. So let's start massaging our solar plexus. It's between your navel and your upper rib cage, right? This area. And maybe imagine already breathing in this warm, yellow, golden sunlight, just like my necklace. And as you breathe into your solar plexus, hi Ingrid, notice that you can take your breath right down into your belly. Let's ground down as we do in every session. Notice the present moment, this precious moment that we have together. And let's take 3 deep conscious breaths together as we breathe in, holding our breath, and exhale through the mouth. Let's do that again. Take a deep breath in, hold your breath, and exhale through your mouth. One more time. Hold your breath and exhale through your nose. Get into a comfortable position. Your spine is straight, your neck is straight, your shoulders are relaxed, and maybe place your hands on your knees, somewhere where you're comfortable and awake. Okay, and I promise to do my best to entertain you. Okay, 3rd chakra, what is this about? It's about stepping into our personal power. And that's a power that comes from love, from a sense of self-worth, from a sense of self-confidence, rather than from force. And there's a great book written by David Hawkins, Power versus Force. David Hawkins, Power versus Force. Amazing book, read it. And anyway, in there he describes the whole concept of why it just makes so much more sense to come from love rather than forcing things, struggling, trying to fix it with willpower and all that. And it's a really fascinating book. And for now, I want us to notice how different that power feels when we feel centered, when we believe in ourselves, when we know that we are worthy, that we matter, and how power feels when we have to manipulate, when we have to force someone to be of our opinion, when we need to kind of use brute force sometimes to get our way. Do you notice where that is coming from? Well, that kind of force is coming from a sense of identity, actually an attachment to the ego. Because you see, the ego always wants to know, who am I and how can I create, I don't know, the biggest power right now? How can I get my way? And you see, our highest self, our wisest self, doesn't force things. Our highest self, our intuition, speaks with a subtle, soft voice. It'll give us a nudge, but it's never going to make us do something. But how often do we make ourselves do something that's not really in alignment with who we are at all? And before you start beating yourself up about this, hi Ingrid, hi Ina, hi hey, I want you to just realize that that's just the ego trying to get its way. And we all have ego and need ego because ego and willpower go together. And isn't it true that in so many moments we do need willpower to survive, to get through something really sticky, something really rough? But if we're driving on willpower the entire time, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get exhausted, frustrated, maybe even burnt out. We might feel depressed. We're definitely going to feel that our energy is not being very effectively invested. And as we all know, we are all energy. So a lot about this journey through our chakras, our journey towards ease, is realizing that we actually have everything we need inside of us to be able to make this happen. So you don't need me, nor do I need you, but I like hanging out with you, so thank you for being here. So if we turn, I want to give you an idea that we could turn this sense of attachment, even this addiction that we as humans have to get attached to things, to say, this is how I need it, this is what I want, and no other way. You know, this is my perfect guy, this is my perfect job, this is my perfect car, this is my perfect house, this is my perfect whatever, right? And sometimes we can get so attached to our own identity of who we think we are that we will start projecting that on the outside too. So we'll say that we'll start to control our entire environment just to make ourselves feel safe, basically. And what I'm inviting you to do today, right now, is to let go of those attachments. And there's a great book on this. This is another tip you could write down if you would like, written by Don Miguel Ruiz. And it's the 4 levels of attachment, of the different forms and the intensities of how we can get attached to something, whether it's our favorite football team, whether it's a political party, whether it's our own beliefs. You know, that's a human thing, and that's okay. But today I want us to look at which attachments could we release? Where would we create more space so that we could come from an open mind and an open heart to be able to do what? Well, to be able to really embrace our full potential, to be our best selves, the ones that really can express all of who we are, the ones that love all parts of us. And we all have light sides and shadow sides, and often those shadow sides, and that's something we're going to go into in session 4, right, when we talk about the heart, those shadow sides can actually be your biggest gifts. They can be your talents. They can be the things that you can hone into something that could become more loving. So I want you to get, or us to get passionate about ultimate habits. Instead of getting attached to things that no longer serve us, why don't we make it a habit to get attached to things that do serve us and get attached to what I call ultimate habits? And you know, I've done a lot of research on lots of successful people because I love learning from role models. And what I noticed is that the successful people have some great habits in place. They have such ultimate habits that they've set up for themselves to kind of set themselves up for success. And what are great habits to have? Let's ponder on that. And maybe you have some suggestions and you can tap them into the comments. Well, I want us to get passionate about good self-care. We talked about that a little bit yesterday in the session of how we can create karmic-free self-pleasure, right? Karmic-free pleasure meaning that we know the value of taking care of us, taking care of our bodies, taking care of our environment. I want us to get passionate about using impeccable words. Another great book of Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements. And you know, those impeccable words, the magic and the alchemy of our own voice, the things that we say is something so easy to use in every day to make yourself feel good and help others feel good, because we all like hearing compliments, we all like hearing appreciation. So the more we express that appreciation, that's something we'll go into when we get into the throat chakra, the more we'll see that appreciation reflected back on ourselves. So let's get passionate about using impeccable words, being empowering, loving, and truthful in what we say. Let's get passionate about staying in our power no matter what life throws at us. No matter how much someone triggers you, no matter how mean someone is, what if we could stay in our power of confidence and faith and love in those moments? Wouldn't that love switch the situation round? I think so. Next, let's get passionate about letting go of expectations. You know, setting high expectations of others is a really amazing way to make yourself feel really bad because you're bound to get disappointed. So let go of expectations. What we do is we set intentions, just like we grounded down at the beginning, and we're going to set our intention in a moment. But the moment we set our intention, we can let go. That we've determined the direction, we've said, this is where I want to be headed, and then let God serve, or the universe serve you those opportunities to grow even more, because they're way more creative and way more, bigger than we can ever think. Next, let's get passionate about forgiving, about making amends, about lifting others up. You know, a rising tide lifts all boats. So when we learn to be compassionate towards others, to help each other in constructive ways, we're going to raise the vibrations of all of us on this planet. So that's a thing I think we should get compassionate about. How about collaboration instead of conflict and fighting each other and, I don't know, having to be the better one, competition? Let's do collaboration instead of competition. What about staying creative? And that's a lot what we talked about yesterday in our second chakra. When our second chakra is balanced, that creative flow, that inspiration, you had a good bath, I love that already. That creative flow will always keep going. So stay tuned into that creativity. And what that means, for me at least, is that we stay tuned into our intuition. So you know the quantum intuition, I wrote a book on it, it was a bestseller and all that stuff. There's a program for that. So if that is interesting to you, check out those 5 steps. So let's now look at what happens when we don't take care of our third chakra. If we don't know anything about it and we've maybe stored a bunch of stuff there that's no longer useful to us, what happens with an imbalanced third chakra? Well, on a body level, we'll feel exhausted, depleted, burnt out. We might experience weight gain for many different reasons, and I'll go into that. And we also might have trouble sleeping. In our relationships, we might tend to create relationships that are founded on codependency. So it's not 2 free spiritual divine beings getting together to create something bigger, but it's 2 people who kind of need each other. And that kind of codependency can sometimes get pretty toxic. Then in relationships, we will maybe show avoidant and insecure attachment patterns. And this is something I go into in depth in the Joyful Kids program, because you see, the attachment theory, which was actually started in the 50s by some amazing psychologists, shows that those attachment patterns, those behavioral patterns of how we behave in a relationship, how we connect to other people, if we've learnt a certain way as a child, we usually continue that same pattern also in adult relationships. And then the insecure person often attracts an avoidant pattern person, right? And that is super, super toxic, because you see, the insecure attached person is very, very needy, needs this constant confirmation, sometimes even needs drama to feel safe, to feel loved. And the avoidant hates that, hates intimacy, but somehow loves that codependency because it gives that person a sense of power. So what we want to learn is a secure form of attachment, meaning that we can enjoy what is, we can enjoy intimacy in the present moment, and don't have to fear that that person is going to leave us, is going to betray us. We are able to stay in the now, and we are able to feel secure in ourselves. And that's my desire for all of us in this group, in this continued journey with each other as we get into our third chakra. So let's place our hands on our third chakra. Hi Gabriela, hi Julia. Start breathing into our third chakra and just notice what happens inside of our bodies and minds and in the emotions when we start pondering on those moments in life when we gave our power away. You see, power we always have within us, but sometimes we feel tempted to give it away to people, to situations, and just notice what bubbles up inside of your unconscious mind right now as we think of that. And if it's something you'd like to write down, then write it down right now. Notice what feelings come up for you. And you know, notice what happens, for instance, when you're confronted with authorities. That was a big trigger always for me, right? If someone tells me this is the only way you're allowed to do it, I would think of 4 million other ways of doing it, because I don't like being told what to do. So many of us are like that. And maybe we can notice this also in relationships, male, female, right? Do we need someone to dominate us, or do we need to dominate, right? So if we get stuck in our third chakra, we can become really selfish. We can become stubborn and dominating towards others rather than coming from love. And we want to avoid that, obviously, right? And talking about, you know, the joyful kids and getting stuck in the third chakra, talking selfishness and stubbornness, I want to say something that might trigger some of you. I feel that just giving children empowerment, right? Giving them the sense of, oh my God, you're amazing at everything, you can do everything, and you must do everything, and da-da-da-da-da, without teaching them true life skills and the connection to the heart. If we don't teach those three things together, so empowerment, connection to the heart, a sense of compassion for others, we will be training a generation of selfish and entitled monsters. And unfortunately, I see a lot of that, you know, in my practice working with children and working with families that are struggling. I often see that this dynamic has been started, that we're just empowering the child without teaching it responsibility, without teaching it how to deal with their emotions, without teaching them life skills that we need to overcome stress. So we might have grown up like that too. We might have brought up our own children like that. We might see it on the outside. Notice where you feel triggered in your sense of power. What are the moments that you give your power away? When do you lose it? What does someone have to say to trigger you? What is okay for them to say, and what is absolutely not okay? And you know, this is different for every person. So for some people, if I were to say to you, God, you're stupid, wow, that hurts. Other people say that to me and I'll laugh at you because I know I'm not stupid, right? Or for some people it's say, oh my God, you're so slow, or you're so ugly, or you're such a victim, or you're so this, or you're so that. Notice what hurts. Because every time we're triggered, every time we feel that, oh, inside of us, it's a chance to look at something that needs healing. So if you're noticing something right now, please write it down. If you're noticing something right now, please write it down. I don't want to do a Biden on you. So why is compassion important? Compassion is important because compassion can actually only be created once we've learned to love ourselves. Only when I know the feelings inside of me, if I know how to love me, can I love out there? Can I even have an idea of understanding of what someone else is going through? Because in all truth, we don't know. We can maybe know if we've gone through something similar, and that's why sometimes we will attract situations in our lives to learn something, because we need to learn a certain lesson. And then once we've learned that lesson, we're able to recognize that pattern, help other people on the outside too. So it's all good. Okay, so notice what comes up for you. A big trigger for many females, but also for males, is this toppling of patriarchy that we're experiencing right now. So our world has been run by patriarchy for the eons of time, but it wasn't always that way. And not in all cultures do men have the say like they do in our world right now. So when patriarchy is the leading system, there is one thing that is not possible. And do you know what that is? It's intimacy. And you know why? Because in patriarchy, hierarchy is the leading concept, right? Everything is organized in a certain hierarchy. And a hierarchy means that there's someone on top and there are a lot of people on the bottom. And the top dog only knows that he is the top dog if he has down dogs that he can kick. So that is hierarchy. And in that hierarchy, intimacy is impossible, because you see, as guys, you were trained and you were programmed to believe that you have to be the strongest, the smartest, the most agile, the most virile. You have to do all these things. You have to be the best. And if you're not the best, you're going to be a down dog. So notice that also, dear ladies, right? When we're dealing with men, know that they almost always have that programming in them, which means that for them to let down their guard, for them to admit that they're not good at something, often can feel really threatening. So a really beautiful practice to do with your man or with your woman, because this works both ways, is the following. Are you ready for this? Okay, let's set our intention. Close your eyes. Roll them up as if you're looking through the crown of your head. And then say, even if I don't know how to balance my third chakra, to balance this dynamic between power and force, even if I don't know how to release all trauma and heal myself, all I do know is that it is so now, and I am fulfilled. I delete all programming that could stop me. And I download everything I need to do so now with grace, ease, and joy. Thank you. So it is, so it shall be, or something even better. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Open your eyes. Okay, now look for the camera. Okay, now look into the camera. Imagine it's you sitting opposite you. Ground yourself down. Notice how your spine is straight, your neck is straight. You're looking into yourself. And now think of someone that you adore. A beautiful bunch of flowers, nature, someone who you really love. Take 3 breaths into your heart, allowing those good vibes, that loving feeling to expand in your chest. Repeating, I am love inside of yourself. And then open your eyes, look at yourself and say, hey, now say your name. I'm going to say, hey, Joy. Say, hey, and then say your name. Hey, Joy. I want you to know that you're a good woman. Now, if you're a guy, you would obviously say something like, hey, Thomas, I want you to know that you are a good man. And then take a deep breath in and out and let it land. Now, when you're doing this with someone else, with your partner, for instance, you want to first ground down, set your intention. You want to get in that yummy space, breathe into your heart so that you are exuding love. And then look the other person in the eyes. You can reach out and touch their hands or not. And then just say that, say their name, and then say, I want you to know that you are a good man or a good woman. And let it land. Don't say anything else. Just breathe and let them receive. And just that practice I have seen transform in relationships, transform relationships to ourselves. Do it. Do it in front of a mirror if you don't have a partner. Do it with your kids. Sit down with them and tell them, I want you to know that you're a good kid. I want you to know that you're an amazing human being. And allow that healing to just flow. Okay, so that's one of my first tips for you today. Write it down. So you're moved. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Loredana. It's really beautiful to do. When I did it with Rye, he was super touched. Okay, so what I want to get really clear on is I'm not about toppling patriarchy to go towards a matriarchy and then it's the women leading and what that. If we do that, we're just going to swing the pendulum another way. I think what we need is a collaboration. What we need is to see that regardless of if you're male or female, if you're Jewish or Christian or Muslim or blah, 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 black and white and yellow or whatever, if you're a human being and you're living on planet Earth, then why don't we look at the resources that we have and base our economy, the way that we interact with each other on a resource-based kind of idea. And this isn't my first idea, right? The first time that I studied this was the Venus Project. The Venus Project was founded and created by Jacques Fresco. And he lived in Florida. He created a beautiful compound there. And his whole idea was, why don't we take planet Earth as a whole and see what do we have where? Sometimes we have amazing water, otherwhere we have great earth, then we'll have, I don't know, oils, and then we'll have this, then we'll have that. We have all these different resources. If we were to base our entire economy on where do we have what, who needs what, then we would stop this ridiculous game of competition, of oppression, of a power game, basically. So I love that idea, and I love the holistic concept behind it, and it made total sense to me. So if that is interesting to you, then check out the Venus Project by Jacques Fresco. So I think it's all about finding the middle ground, finding balance, finding our center, and that way connecting to something that's bigger than us, that light, that love, that God, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so Einstein says we cannot solve the problems that we face with the mindset, with the thinking of how that we used when we created those problems, right? We can't solve the problems with the same mind that created those problems. And I think that makes total sense. So our next step, this might be a little scary, is that we need to let go of that attachment to our little ego. Our attachment to our identity of this is who I am. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a this, I'm a that. Yeah, you are all that, and you are so much more. And once we let go of something, that we're so stuck on, we suddenly see the whole picture. And today, when I went on a beautiful hike up the Rossfeld in Austria, it's pretty steep. I had that view, that panoramic view, I'll share it in the Joy Tribe tomorrow, that really was so stunning because it enabled me to kind of connect to that idea again that I'm just a tiny little spark in an ocean of light, and I am that ocean of light at the same time. And our conscious mind can struggle with that. So what I would love us to do is to release that attachment of having to win, of having to conquer, of having to own something, to have, and to allow the heart to lead the way. That bigger part of us. Are you in for that? Hi, Johan. You think a soul which experiences a human experience. Yes, we are souls. We're divine beings having this interesting human experience in this beautiful body that we have. So let's look at this attachment, and at the same time, this willpower that we can get attached to by thinking that the conscious mind and the willpower that we have that kind of sits in the conscious mind is going to get us through everything in life. So I'd like to take an example that I think most of us maybe have already experienced, and that is the diet. The idea that you want to shed some fat, you want to release some physical matter from your body, that's alchemy, and you want to become less physical, right? Let's look at diets. Let's look at the three, I call them the 3D trigger words that come up when we have a venture like that. We want to let go of something, right? Then we will notice the words like diet, discipline, deprivation. What happens in our body when we hear that, when we notice those words? Everything in us goes, no, don't do that, because it sounds scary. So that fear, let's tap into that and just notice it and say, I love and accept myself with all my fears of letting go, with all my attachments to having, to owning, to manipulating, to having power over something or someone. I love and accept myself. And I love and accept myself when I now choose to release this fear and step into my power of courage, my courage to embrace love as my driving force. Now, notice your heart and notice how that passion that you feel when you passionately love someone, when you are passionate about a cause, notice how hot that flame can burn. And notice what people can do for love. Isn't that incredible? So why do we ever doubt that? Yeah? Okay, good. So what I want you to understand is that when we attach to something, we hold on to something, and then we say, I've got to let it go. That will always create a certain fear. So anytime you feel that, you now know you can tap your fear points and you can tackle that. When we are now tackling something really big, like letting go of our attachment to ego, to our identity as a person, I want to go into the 3 steps that it takes to be able to really clear a pattern. At least this has been my experience, and this has worked exceptionally well in all my coachings and trainings. To be able to clear a pattern, an attachment, it's just a pattern, right? It's a habit. To be able to clear a habit like that, we need to be able to recognize the trigger. We need to become aware of what is, right? We need to notice that, oh my God, every single time someone screams at me, I feel immensely triggered in my power center, for instance. Just an example, right? We need to recognize the trigger. Once we've recognized that trigger, we need to find the very first time that we felt that way, because that is the inception point. That is the moment when we made a choice, when we, out of that moment, thought that this is the best course of action, because we always only had, the resources that we had available at that time. So rather than beating ourselves up about that, my suggestion is, let's go to that first time. Let's just notice it, because it's there in our unconscious mind. We just need to ask the right question. And I will ask that in a moment. Notice that first inception point, and then we can take step 3, and that is where we transform it. That's when we make a new choice, when we create a new pattern, we create a new habit. And then it's just about repeating that habit for 90 days until it becomes automatic. You never think about brushing your teeth anymore, I hope at least, because you've done it so often. Your body has learnt it. It can do it blind, and I bet you do it the same way every single time. Another nice thing to change, start on the other side of your mouth, just for a few days. Break the patterns, break those attachments, and notice how much space you can create. So if we follow these 3 steps, we notice the trigger, we find the first time, we make a new choice, we can create a new habit. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Let me check. 34, we're good for time. So when we're dealing with body fat, when we're dealing with changing our physical identity, right, the mass of our body, that's a big thing. I want you to know that that fat that you're holding on to is way more than just physical fat. If the thing that we eat is only, I would say it's about 20% of what makes you who you are, the shape of your body, the idea of if you're fat or thin or slim or healthy or whatever, 20% is food. And it's important to have good, clean food, don't get me wrong. But the rest is mindset. It's the habits that you have. It's your attitude towards your body, your attitude towards food, the things that you're saying to yourself when you eat, the things that you're saying to yourself when you judge others who maybe are slimmer or fatter than you. It's ancestral baggage. It's emotional baggage. There's so much more. So in my program, Sleep Your Fat Away, and I also wrote a book about that also became a bestseller, and there's a free webinar that you can watch, and we're dropping all the links in the comments, so don't worry. In that program, I explain the 5 types of fat that I found can keep us from being our slim, healthy, and happy selves. Because there's no good in just being a skinny, grumpy person or sick person. There's no good in being maybe a fat and happy person. You know, why don't we have it all? I'm saying it's an and game. So if that is something that is interesting to you, you should check that out. And once we learn how to reconnect to our body's wisdom, and that's also what we're doing in this little session with each other, right? Every time we connect, we're connecting to our intuition. And when our intuition guides us, we have a better connection to our body's intelligence. Your body knows exactly what it needs. You know what foods you need to eat. You know when to rest. You know when to be active. When we tune into that again, you don't need 1,000 other guidebooks. You don't need 400 other gurus. You can do it yourself. And that's what I'd love for you, because that, I think, is true empowerment. Hi, Fernanda. So let's go on into our clearing. Are you ready? Okay. So now I'm inviting you all to fall in love with yourself, with your body, with all parts of you. And I'm inviting you to open your mind and open your heart to the idea that somewhere out there in the quantum field is your quantum self. And your quantum self has beautifully aligned chakras, definitely a balanced 3rd chakra. And that quantum self is the unlimited version of you. And today we're going to connect to that quantum self again. I'm going to take you over a rainbow bridge so that you can connect to that light. And you can download everything you need into your 3rd chakra. You can release drama and trauma, limiting beliefs, whatever it is that you need to let go. And you don't need to consciously know what to let go of, because you've set your intentions. So allow that higher part of you to guide you, and please just relax. Good, 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 good. So let's just get really clear on the idea that no one has power over us, even if it sometimes feels like that. We are the only ones thinking our thoughts. We are the only ones feeling our emotions. So we are in control of how we respond to whatever is happening to us. And that is where our power lies. Now, if we're in a good state when shit happens, then we will have more likelihood and more capability, more resources available to be able to find creative solutions. And that's why I'm so passionate about the Joyful Kids, because I want to teach, and I am teaching that to children, because they're going to be the leaders of the future. And I want this new generation of leaders to come from here, to be compassionate and wise. So now write down what you noticed, okay? What is your power trigger? You want to write that down, write it down. I've written mine down. My power trigger are male authorities. They really can get me so angry. So that's what I'm going to be clearing today. Maybe you'd like to share what you would like to clear. Martin, maybe you have a trigger with powerful women. I mean, who knows? We're all human. And if you'd like to share in the comments, I'd be very grateful. It's also part of being real, being authentic, being transparent, being vulnerable. And we need to be vulnerable to be able to create intimacy. So here we go. Once you've written down the thing that you want to work on, then notice, how big is it? How big is this trigger? For me, the number 4 comes up. So on a scale from 0 to 10, what's no, it's not the powerful woman. I'm good, I'm happy to notice that. Okay, so if I'm on a scale from 0 to 10, Martin, also notice, how big is this trigger? 0 means nothing there. 10 means, oh my God, where are you? I'm at a 4, where you? Write down your number. Good. And now notice maybe the cocktail of emotions that you feel. So I noticed anger. I noticed a bit of sadness. Yeah, those are my 2 main emotions that I feel in this trigger. And now notice where you feel those emotions or those feelings in your body. Ooh, I feel it here. Where do you feel it? Just notice. And then notice if it has a certain color, a consistency. Mine's sticky and yellow. Sticky yellow slime. Oof. Okay, you got it? Okay, so now we're going to do a very special breathing technique. You are the first ever to do this with me. I call it the crossover breathing. So you know we have a left and a right brain hemisphere, right? And we have the left and the right body halves. So in this crossover, like in kinesiology, we're bringing those 2 halves together. We're bringing harmony into our bodies. And I have been experimenting with this crossover breathing for a while now, and I really love it. So it's a very simple way to heal triggers and to bring balance into our bodies. So before we go into that crossover breathing, I am going to ask you a very important question. The first question is, are you ready today to release this pattern of control and ego and anything that's limiting your 3rd chakra? And are you ready to step into your power? Yes! If your answer is not yes, switch off and watch again another day. You need to be ready. Okay, so I'm going to ask you again. Are you ready today to release this pattern, this dysfunctional pattern, and create a new, empowering, ultimate habit? Are you ready to create more ease in life? Say yes, at least to yourself. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, if you're ready, then start out, good, I'm seeing a lot of yeses, and put your hands up like this. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Take a deep breath in and out, and place your right hand on your left side of your body, sort of underneath your rib cage where your spleen is. And now this is my right hand, this is my left hand. For you it's switched. So take one hand and cross it over, put it on your spleen, and then take the other hand and put it on your liver. Okay, this might look a little strange, but whatever. And as you're holding your liver and your spleen in your hands, take a few breaths and notice, when was the first time that you felt this way? Was it handed down to you in a generation? Was it an ancestral thing? Or was it a past life? Or did you create it in this life? Is it ancestral? Is it a past life? Or is it this life? What's the first thing that comes up in your mind? Ancestral, past life, this life. Mine's ancestral. What's yours? Just notice. And now that we have recognized that first time, that inception point, we've set our intention, we've made a decision. The only thing we need to do is connect to that love inside of us, that light inside of us and around us. And I invite you to repeat these 3 affirmations with me. I am powerful. I am love. I am good. Very good. Now, take your hands and move up underneath your collarbones, where your courage points are. Take a breath. Feel the warmth of your hands against your skin or your clothes. And now repeat, I am powerful. I am love. I am good. Very well. Now, place your hands by your heart and then repeat again. I am powerful. I am love. I am good. Very good. You have been amazing. And now you have deserved your Tesla charge. And the program that I have chosen for today is called Fearless. It's an amazing program for our adrenals, our kidneys, any forms of anxiety or attachment to fear. So I invite you to today to just lie down, to get really comfortable. If you were in my home, I would get you into the super cozy Shavasana. And in that Shavasana, allow yourself to receive these healing vibrations, these frequencies, the harmonic, the electromagnetic pulses, the light, the voltage that is coming through. And while we're doing this meditation, I'm going to guide you a little. You can totally ignore me. You can do your thing and just go floating in the quantum field. You could also be repeating the mantras. I am powerful. I am love. I am good. You do you, and I will guide you across the rainbow bridge to meet your quantum self. And integrate all the resources that you need to be your most powerful self. The music I'm going to play in the background, I hope Facebook will let me play it, I'll play it quite quietly, is the Devi Prayer. Love that track. So if you have it at home, if it's in your library, you could also be listening to it yourself. The Devi Prayer by Craig Pruce and Ananda. Okay, so I'm going to hit the play button. You get into your comfortable position. And I will hit the start button on the Tesla. This program will run for 15 minutes, so we'll go a little over time for all those of you who would like to learn a yoga pose right now. A great yoga pose for the solar plexus chakra is to go into plank. So you simply get up on your hands, I'll do it on the side, that might be more helpful. There you go. And when you're in plank, you want to push your heels back, keep your neck straight, suck your belly to your spine. Take 3 deep breaths, fire up the engine. You could now gently come down to the ground. Come up into Cobra, down into Child's Pose. And then gently roll over into Shavasana. Getting ready for a bit of stillness. Yes, I will post the link later, no worries. And as you get into your most comfortable position, imagine connecting every single vertebrae of your spine with the core of the earth. Imagining these golden red roots growing down all layers of the earth until you can imagine dangling those roots in that fire of transformation of Mother Earth. Every exhale allowing you to release, to let go. And connect with that unconditional love of your planet, Mother Earth. And every inhale is an invitation for you to bring in healing and peace, allowing that soothing, warming energy to move up the roots into the soles of your feet, into your spine, into all parts of your body. Bringing those healing electromagnetic frequencies of Mother Earth into every cell of your body, allowing you to release all that no longer serves you, and bring in peace, healing, serenity, a sense of letting go, surrendering to that higher power, that greater love. Notice now how you can take your breath deep into your belly, allowing your body to relax and let go, allowing every muscle in your body to become warm and soft. As you allow yourself to simply rest, knowing that in these precious minutes that we spend together, you shall be regenerating, rejuvenating, detoxing, and integrating all the resources that you need to be your quantum self, that most loving, wise expression of self. So as I now count down from 5 to 1, I invite you to double your relaxation with every step that we take. 5, relax your face, relax your head, relax your neck. Allow the muscles in your neck and shoulder to become soft and warm. Notice that golden red energy, bringing harmony and peace to all parts of your body. 4, relax your chest, your arms, even the palms of your hands. Double your relaxation now as you imagine drifting and floating. 3, deeper and deeper into that perfect state of mind where you are completely detached from ego and connected to your highest self, your heart, that love and that light, that spark inside of yourself. 3, 2, double that relaxation now, sinking even deeper into that blissful state where your only job is to relax and to allow my voice to guide you as we shall soon venture over that rainbow bridge and dive into that light to become one with that light. And 1, double that relaxation, going even deeper now. Relaxing your hips, your belly, your legs, the soles of your feet. So relaxed that it's easy for you to now imagine this beautiful rainbow bridge of colors in front of you. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple and gold. Allow these healing, gentle, loving frequencies to start vibrating inside of your body. Bring the perfect color to the perfect place, allowing that highest guidance to guide you, simply receiving, allowing yourself to receive so much light that it almost feels as if your body has become that rainbow, red, orange, yellow, green, purple and gold. And in a moment I invite you to start venturing onto that rainbow bridge, taking that first step into the red field now. And as you gently drift over into this red field on the rainbow bridge, you notice that safety within you, that security, knowing that you are safe on planet Earth, the planet spinning at an incredible speed throughout the galaxy, and yet you are safe. Orange float up along the rainbow bridge now, noticing that warmth in your second chakra, that sense of excitement, pleasure. Blessing your body, the sacred vessel that you have chosen on this journey. Relaxing even deeper now and drifting over into the yellow field. Bright yellow sunlight. Imagine receiving this yellow healing light in the area of your solar plexus. And imagine that inside of you this beautiful sun is rising, reminding you of your true potential. That power that comes from love rather than force. Inviting you to enjoy this journey of life. To be joyful, to be excited, to be curious about life. Notice how this yellow sunlight is now drawing you towards the green fields. It almost looks as if you are stepping into this summer field. The grass is so green, and this green healing energy is starting to flow into the space of your heart, allowing you to take deep, conscious breaths into your heart, allowing any pain, memory of hurt to simply flow and drift out of your space, healing those wounded parts of you, allowing you to open up for even more love in life. Allow this green healing energy to flow to all organs in your body, to your brain, your spleen, your liver, kidneys, your lungs, your heart, your veins, your arteries, all muscle fibers and tissues. That's right. And now get ready to take the next step into the blue field. Just like a beautiful summer sky. Imagine drifting and floating in that sky. Noticing those deep conscious breaths, giving you that sense of freedom. The freedom to be you, the freedom to express all of that love that you carry inside. To be impeccable with your words, to be authentic and truthful. Taking care of yourself and speaking your words with kindness and compassion. Notice how easy it is for you to imagine this drifting, floating sensation. Noticing how your body is so heavy and yet a part of you is starting to travel. As your consciousness is always free. Notice that freedom. And with your next deep conscious breaths, travel even higher cross that bridge into the ultraviolet field. Purple light streaming into your third eye, the area between your eyebrows, piercing that veil of illusion, allowing you to see the true meaning of people's words, see their true intentions. Suddenly seeing all that is, more than just the physical eye can. Allow this ultraviolet light to burn any karma, erase any limiting beliefs, and integrate this true you as you now take that crucial step into the golden field, drifting, floating, so relaxed. Notice how that golden field of light is starting to vibrate. It's as if it's calling your name, and you effortlessly allow yourself to drift into that golden, sparkly light, bringing that light in through the top of your head, balancing your left and your right brain hemisphere, allowing any limiting conditioning, any ancestral baggage, any emotional or spiritual trauma to completely transform into light. Downloading the resources of your quantum self with ease, giving you that self-worth and self-confidence that comes from true self-love, from compassion, from caring about your true self in a sense of being able to every day, in every way, find new ways to express that love that you are. Allow yourself to bathe in this golden light, charging all cells in your body with your divine blueprint of health, happiness, peace, joy, abundance, and love. Notice how this golden light is starting to flow into the space between your cells, lighting up your entire body with light, pushing out any darkness, transforming it into even more beautiful, loving energy. So much love. Notice how this love is starting to flow out of your heart, out of every pore of your body. And now, with that part of you that is still listening to me, send this love to a person in need, to someone you care about, to a cause you care about, an animal, it doesn't matter. Imagine sending this love from the place that you are in right now across your country, crossing the borders, the rivers, the mountains, taking your love around the globe, spinning a cobweb of light around the globe, wishing all beings well. And then inside of you, if you like, you can say, may all beings feel safe. May all beings feel healthy. And may all beings feel happy. And may all beings live life with ease. Then take one more deep breath. Bring all those resources, everything you need, right down deep into your DNA. Reprogramming all that is necessary. Integrating all the healing. Then take one more deep breath and stretch out. Make yourself all long and tall. And then bring your hands down and say yes, 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 yes. Welcome back. Come back into the here and now, please. Let me know if you're back. Maybe you could give yourself a little squeeze, drink a sip of water. That was quite deep, huh? And let me know if you're back in the here and now, please. If you have any insights or things you want to write down, do so now. This is the best time to kind of bring those messages to paper. So write it all down and let me conclude our session with my... I'm so glad you had good fun, Martin. Great. Thank you, Iris. She almost slept. Wonderful. That's perfect. So I'm going to conclude with my final tips. So here are the oils. So the essential oils that are great for our third chakra, our solar plexus. The first one is grapefruit. I adore grapefruit because it's also really mood lifting. So it's a very happy oil. And I've got this little blend that I'd like to share with you that I think tastes and smells delicious. And that is grapefruit, rosemary, and bergamot. Grapefruit, rosemary, and bergamot. I like mixing those three, and it's a real power mix that I like putting in my diffuser, or I'll dab a little bit on my wrists and on my heart and behind my neck, and then I'll put a little bit on my crown chakra. So rosemary, grapefruit, and bergamot. Then further resources. You liked what you did today, you notice there's more work to be done, you can always repeat this session, and you can go deeper by, for instance, looking into sleep your fat away. Maybe you have a few extra pounds to shed, maybe you need a few more extra pounds. It doesn't matter. Sleep Your Fat Away is there for you if you want to become your healthy, happy, slim self. Because what I do in that program is I help you reconnect with your body's intelligence. I help you fall in love with your body again. I help you find more confidence in yourself. And when you do those things, the weight automatically goes because you're becoming more of who you really are. So that is one option, and we're going to drop the link in the comments. Another option I mentioned briefly at the beginning is our Ultimate Habits program. So if you want to learn the ultimate habits of really successful people, then we have the program for you. It's an immensely intensive and detailed program. We created it a couple of years ago together also with our son Joey. It's a multi-generational program. It was sold out the first time we did it. It was an incredible launch. And we haven't been talking about it lately, and I think it's time we do again. So if you're interested in creating the ultimate habits for your life, then check out that program. And then final meditation that I always like recommending, especially when it's about letting go of attachments, that is the Letting Go meditation by Dr. Martina, my beloved husband. So letting go meditation, ultimate habits, sleep your fat away. That's for those of you who want to take it deeper, go faster, create even more ease. It's all there for you. And next time, you have one more question. Well, go ahead, write it in there, Martin, and I will be happy to answer it. Next time in session 4, guess what we're going to do? We're going to go into Chakra 4, and that's a really, really yummy one. So then we're going to go into our hearts. We're going to discover the power of forgiveness, of owning our shadows, and yeah, that's happening tomorrow. So I really hope you have time tomorrow. So Martin, get on with your question. Hi, Elisabetta. You've joined just at the end, but that's wonderful because then you're still in our circle and you can watch the replay and balance your third chakra and get another quantum leap closer to a life in ease. So Martin, I'm waiting for your question because our time is up. It's 19:08. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I love that. I try to be as concise as possible, and I love that you are so lenient with me that sometimes I can go a little longer. So we're 8 minutes over time, and I am waiting for Martin's question. What's up? Give DJ his moment of fame. You know, I would, but he's not here because DJ has been abducted by Grace and my nieces and nephews. Because they love DJ so much, they took DJ with him to spend the night at Granny's house, for which I am honestly very grateful because I have had all 4 kids here. The smallest is 2, the oldest is 11, and DJ, it's a lot. So I said, you know, I've got my meeting with my Joy Tribe. Granny, can you have the kids? And she said, of course. Granny Poppins took the kids and DJ. But I promise if DJ is here tomorrow, I will give DJ all moments of fame that you desire. Thank you, Martin. So, my loves, let's conclude this circle. Give yourself a big hug. I am so proud of you, and you can be proud of yourself for making time for yourself, for doing this crazy kind of stuff. Thank you for being a member of the Joy Tribe. Thank you for being my friend. I love you. Mille baci, auf Wiedersehen. Ich hab dich lieb.